What's up, everybody? Tim Uchuk here from Simplify to Multiply, and I got my coffee, I got my grass-fed butter, and I'm ready to hit the day, ready to rock. We went on a train this weekend, and it made me think of, it actually brought back flashbacks from my manufacturing days, and there is, in our city of Edmonton, there's an old bridge that's over 100 years old called the High Level, and it crosses over the river. And I've been promising my son, who is 3.5 years old, for a couple weeks here, that we would go on this trolley, which is, I think there's an Australian one and there's one imported from Japan, and these things are from like 1910, electric. So the track goes over this high level bridge, which is a couple 100 feet up. It's amazing. And you pay $6 to go across, and it's all volunteer run and stuff. But there's only one track that crosses this high level bridge, and then it splits into two on either side. And I didn't notice this the first time I was on it, but the trains stop when you get to one of the sides of the bridge, and the conductors in either train, they get out, and they're holding these sticks, and they exchange sticks when you cross the bridge. I thought that's interesting, and the sticks are two different colors. One is yellow and one is blue. And so I asked him, why do you guys do this every time you cross the bridge? And he said, that is so we know who has the right of way to go on the bridge. He said, if you are holding the blue stick, that means that you have the right of way to go over the bridge. You have the right. And something so simple is, there's a term in Japan called Poka Yoke. Poka Yoke, P-O-K-A-Y-O-K-E, and it means mistake-proof or error prevention. And it's been used, you guys, it's probably all around you. You see it every day and you don't really think about it, but even a three-pronged plug, universal plug for your electric accessories is mistake-proof, because there's only one way to put it in, right? And this has been used in manufacturing as well, and back in my previous life, we had done this when we were building truck bodies. We use this for when there were potential for errors in like measuring things that you were going to cut, or if you're drilling holes, you use what are called or known as jigs, so that it's kind of dummy proof. It's impossible to make a mistake, and that's what this exchange of the sticks was obviously a high risk. There's a safety factor there, but something so simple can be used to eliminate errors. And so a couple of years ago, I love seeing stuff like this, because in our business, I've always been talking about, and a lot of people don't really understand what I mean, but if you remember going into, if you've gone recently, a kindergarten classroom is designed for 4 or 5-year-old kids to kind of understand what is what and what is where. Like, everything is organized, properly labeled, and there are pictures, and it's designed very specifically to help coordinate young kids. Same with airports, right? When you look at airports and the signage around there are arrows showing the direction you should enter washrooms and stuff like that. So making it like absolutely, utterly, and universal too. They use pictures. And so in my business, what I've been trying to do is make everything, because in terms of when you're starting up your business, you'll get to a certain point when you start to get more sales than you know what to do with, which is a good problem, that you're going to need to hire up teams. And once you get teams established, you want to get out of the weeds of your business, that you kind of have to escape them at some point. But earlier on, you can't necessarily afford to do that. But the earlier you can do this, the better, to get out of the weeds, so that you can kind of stay on the leading edge of your business, growing it. And so for me, it's always been, how could I get my business so that a 6-year-old could run it? And the answer to that for me was green, yellow, and red. I've turned everything in our business into green, yellow, and red. And here's what I mean by that. We have scorecards for everything. We've got one main one, which is kind of like if I were on a desert island and I only had a computer, I couldn't talk to anyone, what are the numbers I would need to see and know in order to know that my business is healthy? And what are the targets? So have them color coded, so the red ones are bad, yellow's okay, early warning, and green is good. And I've got a super green as well if we're doing awesome. As I sip my coffee. And that's basically it. So we do a 13-week trailing scorecard. And then I took it further. And when we hire, we don't hire based on roles. We hire based on processes, which I would highly, not a lot of companies do this, but I'd highly recommend doing it. And if you don't have the process, that's fine. You can have the person create the process. And that is just, and it doesn't have to be, it can be high level. And attaching a number to that person so they know what they're shooting for and what good performance looks like. So we got scorecards for people as well, and it's all green, yellow, red. And the other thing to marry these is I talk a lot about creating a rhythm in your business. So I highly recommend having a weekly meeting with the same agenda, same time, same people. If you've got large teams, I would recommend having a member from each department, so that you can have kind of communication flow throughout your business without needing you to be everywhere all the time translating for people. Highly recommend doing that. And once a week, check in on that scorecard. Find where things are in the red and where they're in the red. Work with your team to find solutions to get you back up. So looking at some of your numbers for cash flow, well, you're going to need to hound those customers to get payment. So stuff like that, but that's an example of mistake proofing your business. And I want to, and I think all entrepreneurs, you should make it your objective to minimize as many unnecessary decisions as possible, so that you can free up your creativity and your kind of mental load, so that you can have room to kind of focus and be that high energy leader on the forefront, getting out of the weeds. And this is one of the most powerful ways that you can do it, is to mistake proof your business. And color coding is an amazing way to do that with your numbers and with your team. But once you get there, that's one of the gems that's going to unlock this whole new world for you. So that's the idea. It's called Poka Yoke. And if you're ever on like a train or something like that, the more high-tech trains will have, of course, electronic stuff, but in the olden days it was just colored sticks. So now that you've seen it, you're probably going to see more stuff like that out in the world, where there's a high risk of injury. Like in the electrical world, you've got things that are mistake proof, so you can only do it the right way. But it's a really cool concept, and if you apply it to your business, it can be super, super powerful. So that's it. It's Monday here. I'm going to attack the rest of my coffee, and I hope you guys have an awesome day wherever you are, and we will talk to you soon. Guys, one of the biggest problems I see entrepreneurs facing is the complexity and having to deal with all of this stuff that happens when your business starts growing. And so the ability to manage projects and put them on autopilot, so you do not have to be the micromanager anymore, free yourself up from micromanaging, is a crucial skill and system that you are going to need to master if you want to scale your business. So what I've put together is a quick mini class on project management for entrepreneurs that is going to free you up and show you the keys to unlocking how to build a self-managed team. All you have to do to access this free training is go to teamsthatscale.com. That's teamsthatscale.com. You can sign up. It's 15 minutes of training, and this is taken from some of the best project management teams in the world. This is how they do it. And this is the key to unlocking how to create self-managed teams. So this is your key to unlocking how to free yourself up from the weeds in your business. So check it out. Hope it's helpful, and we will see you guys on the next podcast.